Hello, everyone. I just wanted to come back on here. I want to apologize because my last video, I was getting ready to start my radiation, and I was going to come back on here once a week after that, just to kind of let you know how I was going through it. Well, when I was going to start my radiation, it got put off for a couple of weeks because we had to wait for insurance to clear it, and they didn't want to do the type of radiation I wanted because they wanted a cheaper version, and I kind of called that a generic version, and and that kind of got me all frustrated. And but we kept appealing what they was saying. The doctor did too, and so finally we got it approved on what he felt like I needed best because I had the radiation to my left breast, and so I just wanted to, just in case some have not known, I was diagnosed the 1st of January with second stage breast cancer, and it was estrogen fed, um, and so I was facing whether or not to have my breast removed or just to have a lumpectomy, and I kept praying to be able to just have a lumpectomy, and it came back to where I did because when I had my surgery, they was able to have clear margins all the way around. I had two lymph nodes removed, and those were clear margins around them also. And then I was looking to have chemo, and so now they do a test where they can test your cancer cells that was taken from the um, surgery and send it off to California somewhere and have it tested on whether what count it was from a 1 to 100, and it just determines whether or not chemotherapy would have any benefit for you or not. 20 years ago, they didn't have that test that you could have that test, but so I had that test done and had to wait on it, and they said that if it was 26 or above, I'd have to have chemo, and if it was below that, then they'd think about not doing having chemo not benefiting me. And so, of course, any report, I just keep praying for the best report, and so I put my prayer request on our ladies prayer line, and kept praying for, Lord, let it be under 26. And then I got to where, Lord, um, wouldn't it be great if it was below 13? and and I really thought I was asking too much then. I don't know why, because I was really limiting God, and God's limitless, and all things are possible with God. And so I got the results back from that, and it was a 8. Um, and so that meant that chemotherapy would not benefit me, my type of cancer. Um, it wouldn't benefit the the side effects or whatever that would happen would be more than what the chemotherapy would benefit me. And so I did not have to have chemo. And so then I went back to the oncologist. She told me all this, and she said, "Now, Tina, if we didn't have this test, if it had been 20 years ago, I would have just totally told you to do chemo." And but we're not. But so you do have to have your radiation. I had to have 5 weeks of radiation, 25 treatments um, every day, except for weekends. And then, so I just got through with that uh, 11 days ago. And, um, and so my first couple of weeks, I really didn't notice a whole lot. Uh, Maybe started noticing toward the end of it a little bit of discoloration. Um, so I really didn't start getting any redness and till about the third week, and then more toward the fourth week. And so they say that once your radiation stops, it's still 7 to 10 days that it continues to work in my body, and it did continue to work in my body. And So now I'm on the left day, and it's starting to heal up some, and really I didn't get any kind of broken skin on my breast. Maybe just a very tad bit toward after I'd stopped treatment, and but I just continue to use my moisturizers, and I did use some cortisone with an anti-itch a little bit, and I've got a few other things that I may talk about next time, and just let you know some of the things that I used, and I believe it's really helped me to do it, 2 or 3 times a day, and I started doing it from day one, and I believe that's helped. Now, through all this with the breast cancer and all that, from January the 1st till now, I've kind of gained about 40 pounds. In the past, anytime I'd have surgery, I would gain probably up to 30 pounds, and I'd have to get it off. So I know that I'm in the process now of going through and trying to change my eating habits and stuff, which my eating habits before were good because I had lost 96 pounds in the last 2.5 years. But with this cancer and with the surgery and the radiation and just all the emotional ups and downs, I just, to have my mind really set where it needed to be, it was a struggle, because a lot of times I would go to food for comfort or even as a reward thing, and I felt I need to be rewarded going through all this, or I needed to be comforted. And so it's like my self-control and just my restraint on my appetite and different things was not as it had been for the last 2.5 years. And of course, once you start eating any kind of sweets and eating wrong again, then it kind of escalates, because then it gets your cravings and things going again too. So so I know I'll be looking to be losing that 40 pounds, if not more. But so I just wanted to come on here, and they were great with the radiation. I had to pray, Lord, for a compassionate and caring nurses and doctors and stuff, and they were. I had a couple of days that it seemed like when I met a couple of new nurses, I didn't really, I felt more like a number, just being taken back there, because it don't take long to just go back there and do it, and they could probably do it with their eyes closed. But it just seemed like I didn't feel like I was cared for as much. But after those 2 times, it got better. I tried to open myself up more, and it was better. I didn't get to see my main doctor like he said that he would. I seen a couple of other ones that wasn't my doctor, and then at the very last, when I left and rung the bell and everything, I didn't see the doctor. I only seen the nurse, because usually I see him on Wednesday, and this was on a Tuesday. And I really felt like I should have, if I was going to be my last visit, I felt like the doctor should have come in there and says, "Hey, Tina, this is your last one," and just something. So I feel like, maybe since, this is horrible, but maybe since they've got the money and it's all taken care of, then that's all we care about. So he released me to my oncologist, and so I go back to see her on the 3rd. Now, when I go back to see her on the 3rd, I don't have to have the chemo, but she's already suggesting that she wants to put me on the estrogen, the estrogen blocker. Okay, I've read a lot. I've listened to a lot of knowledgeable doctors that says what they feel, and then I've also listened to patients and stuff that have actually taken it, and then I've also listened to doctors and stuff. You will have these side effects, but we've got other medicine that you can take to help with those side effects. Well, and then a lot of those medicines that you take to help with the side effects has their own percentages of causing cancer, percentages of causing blood clots, and even the estrogen blocker, has a percentage of causing blood clots and different things in your body. Your liner of your bladder to get really thin, and then you become incontinent, and then the dryness of skin and all of that kind of thing, and I'm planning on, I'd like to one day get married again. And then, and then it talks about you probably gain weight. A lot of them have pain in their joints and stuff, and I've already got rheumatoid arthritis and take medicine for that. And they say, well, we can give you some more medicine for it. And I thought, no, no, no. You're raising the percentage of everything else. And this estrogen block, as for me, all it's going to bring, it's just going to bring down the chances of it coming back 10%. Because with taking the estrogen block, I have a 10% chance of it coming back. But that means I've got a 90% chance of it not coming back. And so if I don't take the estrogen block, then I've got a 20% chance of it coming back, but I still have an 80% chance of it not coming back. And so they talk about how that you really need these because the cancer cells are estrogen fed. And I thought, well, I'm 63 years old, and I don't think I have a whole lot of estrogen left in my body. And it's like, you need a certain amount of estrogen in your mind, and it talks about how that it can affect your memory. It can affect, it can cause you to be depressed. It can cause you to have PMS all the time. And I don't want to be, if I was to pass away, I don't want to be remembered as a bitter old woman, because in the Lord I rest in the Lord, and I want to become more and more like Him, with the mind of Christ and His character, and with gentleness and kindness and all of that. And I'm already having to give so much to Him, and be transformed, that I certainly don't want to be working against something that's a pill that I'm taking that's working against me in those areas. It may be working for me to block estrogen, but it's going to be working against me on all kinds of other stuff. And so the pros and the cons, the pros do not outweigh the cons. And so I've decided for myself. Now somebody else, you decide, but I think we have to go with the peace that we have. And that's where my peace is. And ultimately, to a certain extent, we have to put ourselves in the hands of God. And he gives life, and he only knows when we're supposed to be gone. And so, but it has, like I was talking to some friends this morning, we're starting he's starting a cancer support group, and so it was Christ led. We know the Holy Spirit was there, and just to share different ideals and different things and have that support. And I think that's detrimental to all of us. We need community around us. We need people around us, good people pouring into our lives and us pouring into other people's lives. And so, but I was going to show you this right here is, of course I ain't going to show my breast, but this right here is where they did the radiation up here. And some may not have to have that. I guess I did because I had a couple lymph nodes. Maybe everybody does, I don't know. But this is 11 days after radiation stopped. And so it's really, yesterday and today is really moving forward. But so this right here is what it looks like right now, right here. And so I'm just so glad when this heals, and because I really limited to wearing my bra and just going places and that kind of thing, so I wanted to show you that. And so that's the reason I didn't get back, because of the insurance holding off. And then I thought, well, since it really didn't do any changes really for a couple of weeks, I drove myself every day to my treatments myself. Sometimes I'd have a friend ride with me. But it was a little bit of a struggle. I got a little bit fatigued. you know, and by the time Friday would come, because I was driving an hour and a half there and an hour and a half back, so that was 3 hours every morning. I'd get up and do that, and so I don't know if the fatigue came from the driving every day, every week, or if it came from the radiation, maybe a little bit of both of what I was going through. But I drove myself, and I was absolutely ready for it to be over with by the time Friday came, and then all I had was going to be two more treatments. And at that time I thought, oh, I just feel like giving up. And I thought, nope, I can't give up, because what do I want to give up to? You know, I want to give up to life is what I want. And so I just, but I think those thoughts come in all of our minds. And so I just wanted to encourage you. I've decided to go ahead and put my hands, I've been in the hands of the Lord anyway, but so I'll see my oncologist on Wednesday, and I will be letting her know that I will not. You know, I kind of dread that a little bit, because definitely don't want her to talk me into doing something I don't. But they bring out fear, and so y'all just keep me in your prayers that now I do what I feel like I need to do. And then since then I found out that my brother has prostate cancer. Found out he had prostate cancer. He just lost one of his younger sons, and he was 42 in a car accident. He'd found out he had prostate cancer a couple of weeks before that, and he lost his youngest son a year and a half ago. And then I found out some more at church. One has prostate cancer, and one had a hysterectomy and found out she had cancer and going to have to go through things. So, and then another one has some other things. So we've got a few people. We've probably got, I don't know, maybe 5, if not more than that, people in our church that's got cancer, and I'm sure there's more that has had cancer. And so we've just decided on Wednesdays at lunchtime, the pastor has, that we're going to start fasting and praying at lunchtime every Wednesday for all of these. And so if you want to just join us in that prayer on Wednesdays at 12 o'clock lunchtime, and pray where you're at. You may know those that have cancer, and I'm sure the Lord's going to lead us in more prayer for those that are sick. And so I wanted to come on here, and you know, in the comments or whatever, you know, if you want to leave me a message, a question, or anything, something that you might have, if you want me to talk about something, just leave that there in the comments. And so I'll be trying to come on here a little bit more, but I probably won't talk as much about cancer, because I usually talk about other different subjects and stuff. But if things come up in my life, I usually talk about them. And so next time I may talk a little bit more about me having to go to the ER last Sunday night, and some of what, it didn't have anything to do with cancer or anything like that, but it just kind of switched something in me, and I want to, you know, my life is here for the Lord, and that's what I want to do, is what He calls me to do. And so you all just have a good day. Bye-bye.